All right, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to Kicking It with Karam, where you and I discuss the hottest topics in real estate and kick it with one another. I was just right now trying to go live, and YouTube, as always, gives you some weird things that every time you go live, you have to adjust settings, and you never know what the settings have to be on until you decide to go live. So it's something that we got to deal with. But today we have a very exciting topic. In previous videos, I told you an overview of investment strategies you can do in the real estate game. This video right now, we're going to be breaking down for you an entire rental property, a real deal with real numbers to show you exactly how it is from A to Z so you can understand it when you decide to get your first, second, third, or 100th rental property. Now, if you're new to this channel, what I speak about on here is real estate. And every single Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I go live and I dedicate these videos strictly for real estate. So for someone like you or your grandchildren, your children, or whoever in 10, 15, 20 years, they come on my channel, they'll be able to understand real estate from A to Z on how they can get into it. Why do I do this? Because when I first started real estate, I wish there was somebody out there who did this. So that's why I do it. Now, I already see that we have Bodhi who is on here, and he says, got him quick question. So before we get into it, let me just answer this for him real quick. What video do you speak about selling contracts? Is making a contract to buy a house for 100K, then selling this contract to an investor? For that video was... that video was the flipping, rental, and wholesaling breakdown. Basically, the one that I spoke about all three of those and gave an overview on. Check it out. It should be that video. I'll confirm for you right now, though. We have Jacqueline who says, hello, Karam. Thank you for doing this. No problem. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. In today's live stream, we're going to be discussing a fun topic, which is rental properties, how you can get your own rental property, and how you can make it happen with very minimal amounts of money. You're not going to need hundreds of thousands of dollars, and this is something that's exciting for everybody because this not only can help you build your net worth, but can also help you retire a lot earlier. Let me turn my phone off real quick. Okay, so let me get this open for you all. I'm just going to confirm real quick for Bodhi what video that was. He is asking because I spoke about wholesaling, flipping, and renting. So he wants to know which one that was. It is the wholesaling, flipping, and renting one, or how to get started in real estate. It's one of those. So if you open that up, and then after the video, I can message you and I'll send you the exact timing for it. But let's get right into it, which is rental properties. I actually had a whiteboard and I was going to break it down for you, but that whiteboard part didn't work. So what I have in front of me is this right here. I'm going to go old school with a pen, and you enjoy these types of videos about real estate, consider hitting that like and subscribe button so we can continue. That being said, let's get right into it. So put it at 720p so you can get the best quality on this live stream. All right, so rental properties. Now we're gonna go based off of numbers here. There's a real deal in front of me, and I'm gonna go off of real numbers for this much. Okay. For $100,000. And if I'm going to keep flipping this paper back and forth. If you can't see it, I'm going to still tell you what it is. So we found a deal for $100,000. Now, this was a rental property deal. So we want to make sure that this makes sense for us. If this doesn't make sense for us, we're not going to get into it. Of course, this is a rental investment property. So the deal is for $100,000. Now, the first thing that I did when I saw this deal is I went and checked the comps, the comparables in the area. How much can this house sell for on the market right now today? When I checked it, I found out that this house can sell for $100,000. So this person was selling it for market value. So you're not getting yourself a steal, you're not getting yourself an excellent deal, but it's still something you can work with if you're doing rental properties, because remember, you're not going to be paying the money, the bank is going to be paying it. So I found this one for $100,000, and I wasn't too excited about it because it's a market deal. It's not a steal or anything like that. But because I know the person, I decided to do some negotiations with that person. And I didn't actually close on this deal, but I'm giving you a real scenario so you can follow through with it. I didn't close on it because a couple of things didn't go through on my end that I wanted it to go through on. But this is the real deal, and this is something that could have happened if I wanted to actually close on it. Now, the $100,000 house, I ended up negotiating it down to $80,000. So let me write that down. $80,000. And this was negotiated down, okay, from $100,000 to 80,000. And this house already had tenants in it. Okay, so understand this. The house already had people who were in it, and they were on a month-to-month contract, and they've been in there for over 12 years. Imagine, 12 years they've been in that. So they're not going to be trying to move anytime soon, and there are people who pay on time every single month, which is something that's golden, something that you want. Now, $100,000, got it down to $80,000. Now, at this point, I negotiated my numbers and I got it at $80,000. So the next question you ask is, how much rent is this income generating? How much rent is this property generating? So I asked the person who's selling it, how much is it bringing in? And he said that it's bringing in currently right now $950 per month. So $950 per month. Okay? So we're looking at this paper one more time. $100,000 property. Negotiated it down to $80,000, and then it's bringing in $950 every single month. I don't know if flipping this paper back and forth is good, but if it's not, just comment and let me know, and I can just basically tell you instead of flipping it back and forth for you, because I don't know if the camera's catching it. But $950 a month this property is making, and I'm able to get it for $80,000, okay? So now we're breaking through the steps. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, how much income is it bringing in? The property is bringing in $950. The person who's selling it told me it can bring in $1,000. He's been getting $950 before. The people beside him are getting $1,000. So we're going to make this a lot easier on us for number reasons. And we're going to make this $1,000 per month this property is generating, okay? Purchase price is $80,000. And every month it brings in $1,000. What's going on, James? Just checking in, he said. Glad to have you as always, brother. So what I'm doing, James, just because you're checking in right now, is I'm writing down the breakthrough of a rental property and how you can own your own rental property as well. So the property is $80,000 and it's $1,000 a month that we're getting in rental. Now the question you're going to ask yourself when you figure those two things out is, how is the property condition and so forth, but all of that is negotiated on the price itself, and that's why I was able to get it down to $80,000. Now you ask yourself, what's the property insurance? Every single month, how much do you pay property insurance? So we got to do some math right now. Property insurance on that house was $550 for the entire year. So we're going to do 550 divided by 12. So every single month you're paying $45.83 per month on property insurance, okay? I'm just going to write this real quick. You're paying every month $45.83 on property insurance. So you found that answer out. How did you find it out? Because you asked the person who owns it, who's an investor, who's renting it as well, and doing the same thing that you're trying to get into. So $550 per year and $45.83 for the month. Okay. The next step you're going to go is, how much is the property taxes on this property? How much do you pay every single month and every single year for this property? Property taxes are on this house $1,920. Okay. By the way, I'm going to tell you all these numbers, and at the end I'm going to add them up and make it super simple for you, but I just want to break it down so you have an understanding. So $1,920. We're going to use the calculator. 1,920 divided by 12 is $160 per month. $160 per month you're paying property tax. Okay, let's do a quick run through on this. So what you got right here is $100,000 the property initially was. Negotiated it down to $80,000. Every single month it generates $1,000 per month in income. The property insurance is for $45.83 per month. And then the property tax is $160 per month. Okay? You might not be able to see this paper once again, like I said, but I just want to give you the physical feeling of you seeing these numbers. So you ask yourself in the beginning, what's the price of the house? Then you ask yourself, how much income is it generating every month? Then you're going to ask yourself, what's the property insurance? And then you're going to ask yourself, how much property tax are they paying every single month on this house that you're trying to buy? Once you get all of that, you start to question, is there HOA? which is homeowners association, meaning that when you go into these beautiful neighborhoods, gated, and the grass is always trimmed and the landscaping is always done, that's HOA, meaning every month you have to pay a fee annually. Every single year you have to pay a fee, $500, $1,000, however expensive the area is. Does it have HOA? No, it's $0. There's no HOA on this property. Then you ask yourself, does it have utilities that you're going to have to pay for? Now the the tenant is paying you $1,000 a month. You're asking yourself, do you have to pay the utilities? And the answer is no. The tenant is the one who's going to pay that. So there's no HOA, and then there's no utilities that you're going to have to pay for. Renter pays that. So you come down to a conclusion of this. Every single month you make $1,000, okay? Then you're going to minus the property insurance. Property insurance is $45.83, okay? Then you're going to minus the property tax, which is $160. This leaves you off with $794.17 after your monthly expenses, okay? Now, if you want to be safe, which you should always be safe, you have to take out from that amount also repairs and vacancies. Okay, so you're not always gonna have the rental property 100% occupied. You'll have a month or 2 months if someone leaves on getting a new person. Then you have repairs if a water heater breaks down, if the roof needs to be replaced, if you have issues with the property you have to repair. Those are things you have to take into account. But we're not gonna do that right now on these numbers because those are things they're unexpected. You can't really calculate them. So we're going to give you the full amount, how much you can put at the end of the day in your pocket, and then you'll be able to calculate on your own estimated repairs. So for vacancy and for repairs, you would put around 5% of the general income. Just as a heads up I wanted to give you. If you're making $1,000 a month, you can put 10% aside for repairs and vacancies. Means every month you want to put in $100 in a safe place so you can basically cover those expenses if they popped up. So we did the income $1,000, we minus the property tax and property insurance, we came out with $794.17. Okay? Now, the question is this. The $794 is going to be profits for you every single month. But the real question is, how in the world did you even buy the property? Did you buy the property cash? Did you pull out a mortgage on it? Did somebody else buy it for you and you're just managing it? What is the deal with you? And in this video, we're going to go off of you pulled a loan from the bank on this property. Okay, you went to the bank, you requested a loan from them. The property's purchase price is going to be $80,000. Now, follow through with me because right now, these are when the numbers make sense and when you make so much money. But follow and pay attention on what I'm saying. The guy was asking $100,000. I negotiated him to $80,000, okay? Buying this property at $80,000 means that as soon as I buy it, I have equity in it $20,000 because I can sell it the next day for $100,000. So I'm already up on my investment, okay? Then you're going to go to the bank and you're going to tell the bank, hey, bank, I want to get a loan for $80,000 because that's how much you're going to purchase this property for, $80,000. The bank is going to tell you, okay, let me pull up your information, your 2 years previous records of your income, 2 years of how long you've been working, and also how much you are making every single year. They're going to pull that stuff up. Let me write this down real quick. 794, which is the profits. This is profits, by the way, before the mortgage and stuff, okay? So once we get into that, you'll see. So you're going to go to the bank and they're going to tell you, okay, let's pull up your records. The bank tells you, you qualify for it. Here is $80,000 that you qualify for. Now, what you're going to do is $80,000 times 20%. Because you want to put a down payment on this investment property. You can get lower rates. You can put 15%, 10%, and so forth. But we're going to go off of 20%, which is something that is confident and you can always guarantee to get, which is more than likely a conventional loan. Okay? So that's $16,000 you have to put. You who's trying to buy this investment property, you're going to put $16,000 down as a down payment. So you're going to do $80,000 minus $16,000. That means that your mortgage, your loan is $64,000. $64,000 is your mortgage. And you put down $16,000 as a down payment. Okay, are you guys following through with me? Hold up, I got to make sure that you guys are not getting distracted and that you're following through with me or not getting lost. Najib says you talking about units, not houses, right? So Najib, this is units, this is houses. all of it is the same thing. One house or 10 units, this is the same exact concept. If I speak about units, it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 units. It's going to be more complicated. What I'm sharing with you right now is either a one house or one unit, whatever way you want to show it as. But at the end of the day, if you know how to do it this way, you can duplicate it to 10 to 20 to 100 units and even higher. So this is just the process of how you can do it, and then you can of course scale it on your own. Okay, so we're standing right now. The bank says, hey, you're approved for $64,000. The bank is looking at you, Najib, and it says you're approved for $64,000. The bank is looking at you, James, Jacqueline, Bodie. It's saying you are approved for $64,000. You're approved for $80,000, but you put a $16,000 down payment, which is 20%. So they approved you for $80K. You put down $16,000. Now you have a mortgage of $600. Now you have a mortgage of $64,000. Okay. You're following with me, right? This mortgage that you have on the property, I already did the math and the calculations and stuff, which is calculators all online and so forth. It's going to be depending on the economy, on the market, on the way the bank is going to charge you. But overall, I have it right here. You're going to be paying for the mortgage $524.64. Let's write that. $524.64 for the mortgage. Per month. Okay? Per month. Now, we spoke about how much money were you making before the mortgage. You are making $794.17. You are making this much money before the mortgage came in. Now, the mortgage came in, and that is going to be minus the profits that you were supposed to make, which is going to be minus $524.67. Now you're left off with $269.50. You guys see that? Every single month, you pocket in your pocket profits $269.50. Now, I need to take a pause to let you know how beautiful this is. This is just so beautiful. These numbers are real numbers on a real deal on a real property. And I want you to understand this one concept. You're making roughly $270 profit every single month. You own a property. You have your tenants paying for that property. So you're not only making around $300 a month, but you're also owning a property as the years start to progress. And on top of that, you bought the property from $100,000 market price. You bought it at $80,000. So you already made $20,000 in equity for that property. I hope that you're following through because these numbers are so real. If you're following through, drop a comment so I can make sure you're following through and I haven't lost you, because this is a lot of numbers out there, and if you don't see it, it's a bit tough to kind of comprehend, and I'm trying to let you see it, but this paper stuff is not that easy. But you guys understand the concept, right? So $269.50 is your profit every month. Now remember, I said estimate for vacancies and estimate for repairs. So from that $269, whatever you want put aside, I would say assumably you can put around $50 to $100 aside, and then you can keep the profits and do whatever you want with it. We have Jacqueline who sent an empty message. This shows like an empty message, but I guess that means, hopefully that means that she's following through and she's catching on. So that's what it is, guys. This is rental properties. How you can own a rental property without putting basically minimal amounts down, 20% down, 15%, 10% down, and then automatically when you buy this property, you're already up because you got yourself a good deal. All right, you got yourself a good deal. You already bought the property $20,000 cheaper than the market, so you are already up on this investment. James says sounding good, so I'm hoping and I'm guessing that means that they're following through, so that is good. So let me just quickly break it down for you guys one more time. We're gonna run through it quick. The property, we got it for $80,000. It's worth $100,000. Okay, so we're already $20,000 in equity. That means we can sell it the next day and profit $20,000. Every single month, this property is making you $269.50. Okay, and you're owning the property, meaning that every month you're getting your mortgage paid and then you're taking home $270. Imagine that. You're getting your mortgage paid and taking $270 every month, and you're owning the property itself. This is how rental properties are done. Then this is a bonus that I'm just going to throw out for you all. When you start to grow, you got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 investment properties, rental properties all over the area, everywhere. And you're just like, my God, this is so overwhelming. These checks are so hard to deposit. I got to take these screenshots, and I got so many papers I have to screenshot and I have to go put in the bank and deposit in the bank. Man, this life of driving to the bank is tough. You can end up deciding and saying, let me get myself a property manager. This property manager is going to handle all 50 properties for you, and they charge on average 8% to 12% of your rent. So if you make $1,000 rent every single month, let's say they charge you 10%, so they're going to take $100 to manage that one property. Times that by your 50 properties, it adds up, but they take off a lot of stress for you. And some of them have a flat rate fee of $100. So that was a bonus that I threw in, but that's when you get so big and you just can't handle it yourself. You want to do that. But once you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 investment properties, you can handle that yourself. It shouldn't be too hard. Jacqueline said, sorry, that was a thumbs up emoji. That's no problem. I'm just glad that you're following through. Body, that's good. He says that he's following through. And Najib says recap. Did you follow on the recap that I said right now? I recapped it for you in simple terms, but let me give you a quicker one, right? Not a quicker one, but a little bit more broad. When you buy an investment property, a rental investment property, the first question you have, how much do you want for the property? Okay, the person wants $100,000. The second question you're going to check is the market. How does the market look? Is it worth that much? If it's worth that much, you want to negotiate it and get it cheaper. You don't want to pay market price. The third thing is you're going to ask the guy or girl, how much are you making every month from this rental property? They're going to tell you how much they make. After you figure out how much they make, you have to figure out the property taxes, which you can figure out from the county, or you can figure out from the owner himself. And then you need to figure out the property insurance. How much every month do you pay property insurance? Once you figure those two things out, then you figure out your bank loan, how much the bank is going to charge you for that loan every single month. You figure that out as well. It's so simple. You take the income, $1,000, minus property taxes, minus the property insurance, minus the mortgage, and then that right there is going to be your profits. Like I said, there's going to be repairs you have to do, vacancies you have to account for, but we're giving you direct numbers. That stuff is not, you can't calculate it. You'll have to figure that out when you basically deal with the property day by day. And you can put aside a safety stash just in case anything happens, which I said could be around 5% of the income, which from $1,000 is going to be $50. Oh man, I hope that makes sense for you all, because that makes sense for me in my head. And remember, this is a 30-year mortgage, so you have 30 years to pay it off. Of course, the bank's going to make a killing off of you if you take that long to pay it off, but you're not paying it off. The tenant is paying it off for you. And you do that with 1 property, 2 property, 3 property, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And at the end of the day, you have 50 properties under your name, under your corporation, whatever you have it under, and you are not paying a penny for it. And every single month, you're just making profits. And every single month, you're owning more real estate. And every single month, your net worth is going up higher and higher off of this single method, which all people in real estate who real estate invest do. The top people that you can know of do this exact method. Cool. All right, so Najib says, yeah, that means he understood it. So that is it right there. I wrote everything right here, but the problem is it's not going to be easy for you guys to see and so forth, which I understand. I'm going to work on how I can basically get myself a whiteboard that can just be put right here so you can be able to see it in simpler terms and I can easily write on it. But as of right now, we have to use what we got, and I don't want to just postpone and say install on you guys and all that. I just want to post the video and give you the overview. If it was a bit too fast for you, you just have to go back and replay it, and then as I'm speaking, write down these things, because I just gave you the blueprint on rental properties, how it's done, how investors do it, how I do it, and that's the game right there. That's the name of the game. If you know this, you can scale to the next and to the next. Once you get something down one time and you learn something one time, the next is easier, and then the time after that is easier, and scaling it is just the easiest part. Is you just get bigger and bigger as long as you can maintain, which is the key, because you don't want to go get 30 investment properties and 25 tenants just disappear, and that's $25,000 a month you have to pay from your pocket that you didn't account for. But Luckily, that's not going to happen for you because you're tuning in on Kicking It with Karam, where I share with you investment advice, tips, experiences on the real estate game, and how you can make the best investment for yourself so you can build yourself long-term wealth and also short-term wealth, depending on how you want to do it and if you want to liquidate earlier than later. That's what we got for this video right now. The basic discussion of what we had is breaking down a rental property, an investment rental property, how it's broken down and how it is done. I hope you all benefited from it, and I hope that you guys see the value in these series that we're creating, that I'm doing for you guys every single Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. I go live just like I'm doing right now, and I'm starting to see a lot of consistent people joining, which I love because that shows you're hungry, you're up for the hustle, and you want to get in the real estate game. And I promise you one thing, once you get in the real estate game, it's so fun. You're not going to want to ever leave, and you're going to continuously keep on building yourself in the game because that's where the money's at, long-term and short-term, depending on what investment strategy you want to make. Previous videos, I gave you the overview, and now is when we start to break down the real numbers. In this video, we broke down a real investment rental property, real deal, real numbers in my area. The next one will be flipping a property, those numbers, what I flipped, how much I made on the flip, what the costs were, and so forth, and then a wholesaling deal and so forth. And as we continue, we'll start to make more and more of these videos so you can get your full understanding of the real estate game. When you're wearing a suit, it gets hot. That is one thing for sure. It gets hot. I hope all of you who are in this chat right now, who are tuning in and who are talking in it, you benefited from this live stream. I hope those who watch this live stream, once we're done with it, also benefit from it. And don't forget, if you enjoyed these videos, subscribe and hit that like button and drop down a cool comment. Drop down something that you're thinking, an idea you have, a question you have. I get back to every single person. I read every single comment, and any questions you have, you can come here on YouTube, comment it. You can catch me on Instagram. It's the same as my YouTube name, and you can just go from there, send me a direct message, and I'll be able to help you. And that's something that will help you go further in your game. And I don't want you to make the same mistakes I made, so please make sure you ask me the questions before you do something, and I'll be able to hopefully give you the answer. And if I don't know the answer, I'll make sure to find the answer and come back and give you it, because I'll let you know when I know and when I don't know it. James says, thanks for sharing today. Anytime, James. I always love seeing you in these live sessions, man, because you are the hungriest person I know. You're always in these lives. You're always questioning, always in this stuff. And hopefully one day I want to see you in person. I already do see you in person, but I want to see you in person at a real estate deal and closing it. That's the most important thing. We have Jacqueline saying, yes, thank you very much. Anytime, Jacqueline. It's great to have you. You're a new face, but I'm glad to have you, and it's exciting to see new people join this. We have Najib saying, how do you keep your tenants and find them? To keep tenants and to find tenants, all right? To keep tenants in your investment property or any property you have, the first thing is make sure that you're taking care of these tenants. If the tenant calls you and says, and they're going to end up leaving and terminating the lease, garbage disposal is basically the water clogs, it doesn't go down, the food starts to clog, it starts to stink up the kitchen. I know a lot of tenants who have that issue and the landlord doesn't fix it for them. So a way to keep your tenant is when they call you, make sure you go fix what they're requesting. As long as it's not something crazy and it's something normal, fix it for them, be nice to them, take care of them. They're tenants who are taking care of your properties, and you want to make sure you treat them well. And how do you find them? Finding tenants is actually very easy. You just basically tell your realtors in the area, if you have connections with realtors, you put a sign outside saying renting. You go on your contact list and tell people that you have a rental property. You go on Facebook and say you have a rental property. You have so many ways to go out and say you have a rental property, and there's so many people who want to rent a rental property, but the key is how you do your background check on them. Do you check them? Do you check their credit? Do you check their history? Do you check their income, how much they're making? Because that's a whole different video on confirming that these tenants are going to actually pay you on time and not give you a headache. So that's something you have to be careful for. Deanna said, yeah, my mirror method won't work for this. Deanna has a great mirror method that I actually liked a lot, where she basically writes on her mirror the tasks that she has, the hard tasks that she has in the day. And every second she goes to look at herself in the mirror, And like she was saying, who doesn't like to look at themselves in the mirror? Every time she looks at herself and she sees the task on there, she gets irritated, so she has to go finish that task. And when she finishes it, she erases it. So that's a cool method that I liked that she was telling me about. So that's a good thing right there. But all right, guys. So we basically discussed breaking down a rental property, an investment rental property that you're planning on purchasing, that I'm planning on purchasing. And here's the pre-steps before you make the purchase from point A to point B, from point B to point C, and so forth. Here's the steps on how to get that investment property so you can make sure you make the most money in it. But for right now, this live stream is going to end. I'll see you in the next one, which is going to be Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much once again for joining. And most importantly, keep on hustling, and remember that hard work will never be forgotten. And no matter what you're going through right now in life, you're out here seeking knowledge to learn and to build yourself, and you're ahead of everybody. So be excited for that and understand that you are a winner and that you will win as long as you keep on pushing through. Does that make sense? Keep on pushing through. Don't give up. And I promise you, you're going to make a killing out in this real estate game. Thank you all so much once again, and I'll see you in the next live stream. You all have a great one, and